Admiral Ronnie Hill Gavan, Secretary Rolando U. Toledo, Yusek Alu Dorotan Choseco, sa ating mga kasamahan, Lucky Manzano, yan po ang nakakatandang kapatid ko sa bahay namin. Men and women of the Philippine Coast Guard, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa inyong mainit na pagtanggap at sa karangalan maihanay sa isa sa mga pinakamatatapang na mga lingkod bayan. It is not enough to say that it is an honor to don the same uniform as the men and women who safeguard and defend our coast. For while it is indeed a privilege, it is bound by these obligations. The duty to defend the lines drawn on our seas, the responsibility to steward the wealth within them, the roughly 345 trillion peso blue economy that is the very lifeblood of our archipelago, and the charge to uphold the hopes our seas carry. The fishermen whose livelihood depends on safe seas, the coastal communities that need secure shores, the travelers who seek safe passage, and the millions of Filipinos for whom a fish on the plate is a daily blessing. These are the stakes that our work secures. That is why, as I don this uniform that now rests on my shoulders, I do so with humility, with duty and responsibility. This is not a cosplay, but a commitment. For that is the way to honor you, who are the fearless guardians who show the nation what quiet courage looks like. They who do not seek confrontation, but will not surrender an inch of what is ours. However, I know fully well that you cannot demand endurance from people you do not properly support. That is why, even when I was Finance Secretary, we pursued agreements that expanded the state's capacity to protect and build. And until now, I stand firmly behind you. Every day, in every decision that strengthens your mission, affirming President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s full support for the Philippine Coast Guard. That commitment is reflected in the 42.52 billion peso budget for the PCG this year. It means building up our ranks with trained and qualified personnel. This year, 26.45 billion pesos is allocated for personnel services, including 1.16 billion pesos for the creation of new positions. And it begins the work of meeting our ultimate goal, a standing force of roughly 109,000 uniformed personnel or 3 Coast Guardsmen per kilometer of coastline. With this, you will be supported by 5.54 billion pesos in subsistence and collateral allowances. We will also provide 8.95 billion pesos for MOOE to sustain day-to-day operational requirements. And lastly, we will invest 7.11 billion pesos in capital outlays to modernize our fleet and buttress our ability to meet any challenge at sea. This also includes the construction of the PCG headquarters and the completion of the PCG hospital. So to the gentlemen and ladies of the Coast Guard, with these investments, you will be better positioned as part of our arsenal for peace. It is an arsenal meant to preserve stability and secure harmony at sea and along our shores. It forms part of the President's broader goal to bridge troubled waters and usher in an era of maritime prosperity. It is a mission that I am glad to support as Executive Secretary and now as Auxiliary Vice Admiral of the Philippine Coast Guard. Sisiguraduhin natin ang ating mga karagatan. Susuportahan natin ang ating Coast Guard at ipagtatanggol natin kung ano ang atin. And we will keep faith with every Filipino whose life depends directly or indirectly on what happens beyond the shoreline. Ulit, maraming salamat. Mabuhay ang Philippine Coast Guard. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
Thank you.